Rated M for Movies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rated M for Movies podcast. My name is Matt. Today I got my review for you for Central Intelligence. It stars The Rock and Kevin Hart, so let's get right into it. So Central Intelligence, it shows Kevin Hart and The Rock, their characters meet up after not seeing each other in high school for 20 years, and you find out that The Rock's character, who's now like this big jacked guy, he now works for the CIA. There's a whole adventure that those two go on, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to spoil too much about it, so let's get into what I liked about it. The Rock in this movie is by far the best part. I loved his performance. He's like this funny, lovable, teddy bear type character, you know. He has some hilarious moments with Kevin Hart. Some of the interactions between them are great. They have great chemistry together. They work perfectly together. The Rock was definitely the best part of the movie. He was fantastic. I really didn't know he was that great of a comedic actor until this movie. There's also some great comedic writing, especially between The Rock and Kevin Hart, like I said. There are also some other characters. There's one scene in particular where they go to a counselor. I don't want to spoil it too much. Kind of spoils the scene if I talk about it. Look out for the counselor scene. You know what I'm talking about if you see the movie. That is the best scene in the movie by far. It's absolutely hilarious. The action's also pretty good. All the camera work keeps up. It's mainly with The Rock. It really keeps up. It looks great. It's fast. It's awesome. I love the action in the movie. And there's a lot of references within the writing to other actors' careers and other films. I was kind of surprised by that aspect of the film. I didn't really expect anything like that. Even some actors that you don't even know they're going to be in the movie. They have some really funny lines in it that you have to understand certain movies or TV shows to actually understand it. It was some really funny stuff, and I like that surprising part of the film. The first act of the movie is also very strong. That's where most of the comedy is. That's where you introduce The Rock to Kevin Hart. They go back and forth a lot with each other, and the first act is the best part of the movie. Unfortunately, this is where I get into the negatives. The second act is really weak compared to it. It gets a lot more serious. It takes itself way too seriously. It kind of reminded me of something like Ride Along, which also stars Kevin Hart, ironically, and Let's Be Cops. They also had similar issues, I thought, where the first act is just hilarious and the second act kind of falls flat, and the film just takes itself way too seriously, man. It just kind of sucks. Also, Kevin Hart, he's pretty much being Kevin Hart in this movie. He's loud and obnoxious, and he screams a lot, and there's a lot of short jokes, and you either love it or hate it right now. I'm kind of tired of it. I mean, after seeing him in 2 ride-along movies and a bunch of other shit, I think we need a break from Kevin Hart at this point. He wasn't this isn't his worst movie, I don't think, but he doesn't have much of a range. Let's just say that. Even his character was very uneven. At one point he's being very serious. He's talking to his wife and everything. He's just really proper gentleman. And then next he's screaming and doing all this crazy shit with The Rock, and you're just well, he never acted like that before. Now he's just screaming and being Kevin Hart. Okay, well, it's just a completely different character at this point. It was very uneven. They couldn't balance the seriousness with the comedy very well, and I was very disappointed by that. The movie does also have some pacing issues. A lot of the dramatic moments feel completely out of place. At one point you'll have a car chase scene, and at the next you'll have some other message about bullying or something like that. And that's another thing. They have this big message about bullying in the movie, which I think is a great message, and I think it's something that they should definitely spread out. But the way it was implemented into this film, it really didn't work for me, at least. Like I said, it's a great message to send out and everything, but it felt very choppy in this movie. And also the plot is very predictable. If you've seen movies like this, then you pretty much know what's going to happen, and you can pretty much predict the whole movie if you wanted to. Guys, I was actually kind of surprised at this movie. I thought I was going to shit all over it. I thought it was going to be pretty terrible. It didn't really look that great to me, but The Rock was funny in it. There are some extremely funny moments in it, especially in the first act. It does have its fair share of issues, but I'm going to say go see it at a matinee, guys. It's a great, funny movie to see this weekend. I know Finding Dory is probably going to slaughter at the box office, but hey, if you want a good alternative, this isn't the worst thing you could see, guys. It's worth your time if you can see it cheap. So thanks for listening, guys. Next reviews for next weekend are going to be for Independence Day Resurgence and the Free State of Jones. So stay tuned, and I'll see you later.
Rated M for Movies.